Hello all. I thought I needed to make a quick video about citing yours. Um, each of you are going to have the opportunity to use MLA this term. I don't know if that's the kind way to put it or not, but MLA is the citation system that I know best, and so that's why I teach it. But it's basically easy. The first thing I would say about MLA is don't memorize anything. Um, because it changes every 2 years. When I took this class as a student, my teacher quizzed us on MLA and different things like that, and I don't think that's necessary just because it's going to change anyway, and there's no reason to memorize it. And in fact, I mean, I know the system pretty well, but I wouldn't say that I have it memorized. The real trick to MLA is just knowing to look it up every time, and so that's what I would say you need to know. But there are some guidelines that I'm going to talk about today that hopefully will help you out. The first guideline that I would say is always do your works cited page first. Don't try and put in in-text citations until you've already done the works cited page. Now, the basic reason for that is it will just make your in-text citations that much easier to do. So always do that first. And so most of the time today, what we're going to be focusing on is how to do the works cited page. Now, if you'll notice here that this is basically what you do for everyone. Okay, there's these basic units that you have to try and fulfill, and if you fulfill them, you can pretty much go on. Okay, and they are the author's name, the title of the piece, publication information, and then the medium. Now, the medium is actually a newer thing. If you're working off of an older MLA system, they didn't necessarily have that, but now they do. So yeah, keep that in mind. Medium is essentially where you got the information, whether it was from the web or from a print source or wherever. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. But if you fulfill those basic units, you're on your way to fulfilling what is needed for the works cited page. Okay. Okay, so we've got a couple of options on how to do this. Now, I realize that many of you are going to use citation machines, and I am absolutely fine with that. I don't care. I don't care how you get there as long as you get there. But I wanted to show you briefly, if I can find it, there we go. The basic, what you've paid for. I want to show you that. Okay, so Writer's Help is actually fantastic. Diana Hacker, who actually recently passed away, was my favorite author of these books. I think she's fantastic, and they're really pretty intuitive. So if you'll open up your Writer's Help, which you've all paid for, I hope. It will give you these basic outlines pretty well. And so if you actually look to the left over here, you can scroll down and you'll have a whole section on MLA papers. What I've got here is I've clicked on this, okay, and it should bring up a separate thing. Oh, there it was, and then it went away. Okay. Okay, it'll bring up a separate window if you click on the works cited models. And this will kind of give you the different delineations that you're mostly going to be using for this essay. So how to cite a book, periodicals, websites. Websites are the most complicated and the most convoluted out of them all. So be sure if you're using websites to go through that slowly. Personal communications, which includes personal interviews. I'm always asked how to cite personal interviews. It's actually very easy. It's actually mentioned in there, but I can tell you really quickly. It's the last name of the person you interviewed, first name, period, personal interview, period, and then the date that you interviewed them, and then period, and then personal interview is what you'd put for the medium. But anyway, so this kind of gives you a basic list of where to go to. And when I'm doing MLA, I basically make mine look like theirs. That's the best way that I've found to do it. So let's say I was citing something from a periodical. Okay, and let's say it's from a monthly magazine. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so this gives you the basic outline of what we're looking for, and if you'll notice, it has all of those units that we talked about. It has the author's name, the title of the piece, publication information, Okay, the publication information has a lot in it, so be aware of that. It has, so in this case, it has the magazine title, the date that it was published, the edition that it was published, and then finally the medium. Okay, so that's pretty intuitive. It's pretty good. I know most of you aren't. I know most of you, once again, are going to use citation machines, which, once again, I have no problem with. But here is my suggestion. Always double check it, okay? The thing with, once again, with MLA is that it changes every 2 years. Writer's Help that you've purchased actually is up to date, so it works really well. So I would refer back to that if you can. But let's show you briefly a citation machine, actually. Word actually has a really good citation machine. The problem with my Word, actually, is that it's outdated. I think I have the 2007 edition, which they updated MLA in 2010. So they're going to do it again soon, I think. So, you know, mine's outdated, and that's something to consider, and that's another reason why whenever I do a works cited page, I have to double check it with another source. But anyway, so let's look at the citation machine in this really quickly. Okay, so you should know up front that I am using a Mac, and Word actually changes from Macs to PCs. It's actually a little bit more intuitive on the PC, believe it or not. Usually it's not, but how you do it on this, and once again, it's a little different if you're using a PC, but is you come up here and, oh, actually, you can't see it because it's out of my window box, but you come up and you click Insert. It will drop down something. Oh, just kidding. You actually click View, scratch that. You click View, and then you click on Citation, right there. Okay, it'll bring up this little list thing here. Then you come down here and click this little cog-looking thing, Citation Source Manager. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. This is just how I've always done it. And then you go over here and click New. Okay, the first thing that you want to make sure if you're using this kind of thing is make sure that you're in the right citation machine. APA comes first in the alphabet, obviously because it begins with an A, and one of the most common mistakes that I've seen as I've looked over these is that they just didn't click the right citation box. And so this is an MLA, so make sure yours is MLA, and then it's just basically you filling in these different things. So you come here and you approximate what's the closest source that you have, type of source that it is. So let's say it's a website. Okay. I just for convenience, because I know all of the information, I'm going to cite the web magazine that I run. Okay, so the last essay that I actually published on that was, her name is Osgood Kelsey. Okay, so name of the web page is rated Brooke, one word, actually 2 words. Name of website. Well, actually, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to move this one down. Okay, a lot of this we don't know, but we do know the year, 2012. The month accessed, let's say it was May. The day accessed, we'll say it was today. Okay, year accessed 2012. Now you'll notice that this is actually this is the I screwed this up. I now see this is, if you have it, this is the date that it was published. So this was actually published in April, and I don't know the exact date, but we'll say the 10th for fun. Okay, and I could fill in some of this other stuff, but I don't necessarily need to. So I've got enough information there. I say okay, okay. Now, and that's basically it. Okay, now I have an entry into the into our works cited page. Okay, So, okay, so we've made that entry. Now, what we can do to actually insert it into our insert the works cited page into our essay itself is close out of this. And like I say, I'm sure there's easier ways to do this. This is just how I've always done it. If you come down here and click Elements, you click on View and then Elements Gallery, it will bring up this thing basically. Once again, make sure it's an MLA, and when you're ready to print off your or to put in your works cited page, you just click on that, and there it is. Okay. Once again, I would always double check it with another source. This looks pretty good. It is missing something, and hopefully you can see what it's missing, and it's because it's an outdated source. This, you actually don't need to include the URL anymore. It's not needed, but you do need to include the medium. So I would go in, make the corrections based on what I know from the other site, and that looks pretty good. I can actually see something else it's missing. It's missing the title of the essay that she submitted. It probably asked for that, and I screwed it up. But you can kind of get the basic idea. What was the? It was called A Homecoming. Okay, so that's basically it. And that's how that will work. It'll put it right in there. But again, always double check it. Always make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, one more thing I just wanted to mention briefly. I want you to think about your sources a little bit. And I'm going to do that in another video just because I'm running low on space on this one. So I'll be right back with another segment.